The unexpected visitor. The vast expanse of space stretched out before the orbital platform Harmony, a sprawling human-built space station that hung in geosynchronous orbit above the terraformed world of New Eden. Commander Sarah Chen stood at the panoramic viewport in the station's control center, her dark eyes scanning the star-speckled void. After 15 years of service in the United Earth Space Force, she thought she'd seen it all. But today was about to prove her wrong. "Commander, we're picking up an unscheduled approach," reported Lieutenant Rodriguez, his fingers flying over the holographic display. "It's not matching any known configurations in our database." Sarah's brow furrowed. "Origin? Unknown, ma'am. It's coming in fast from the Orion arm." She leaned over the lieutenant's shoulder, studying the rapidly updating scan data. The approaching vessel was unlike anything she'd ever seen. Organic curves blended seamlessly with crystalline structures, defying conventional shipbuilding logic. "Hail them," Sarah ordered, straightening up and squaring her shoulders. For several tense moments, there was no response. Then suddenly, the main view screen flickered to life. The image that appeared caused several of the bridge crew to gasp audibly. The alien that gazed back at them was vaguely humanoid, but that's where the similarities ended. Its skin was a shifting palette of iridescent colors, like an oil slick given life. 4 obsidian eyes blinked in unsettling asynchrony, and what might have been a mouth opened to reveal rows of crystalline teeth. "Greetings, humans of Harmony Station." The alien's voice resonated, a harmonic chorus that seemed to bypass their ears and speak directly to their minds. "I am Zarleth, emissary of the Lumina Collective. We come seeking sanctuary." Sarah's training kicked in, overriding her momentary awe. "This is Commander Sarah Chen of Orbital Platform Harmony. Your arrival is unexpected. Emissary Zarleth, please state the nature of your request for sanctuary." The alien's form seemed to ripple, an expression of distress that transcended species barriers. "Our home system has fallen to the Void Devourers. We are all that remains of our people, the last survivors of a dying civilization." The weight of those words settled heavily on Sarah's shoulders. The Void Devourers were more myth than reality to most humans, whispered tales of an implacable enemy that consumed entire star systems. To have confirmation of their existence, here and now, was world-shattering. "How many survivors?" Sarah asked, her mind already racing through protocols and calculating resources. 3,217, Zarleth replied. "Many are injured. Many more are changed by what they have witnessed." Sarah exchanged glances with her second-in-command, Major David Hawkins. His expression mirrored her own mix of concern and determination. "Emissary," Sarah said, choosing her words carefully, "while I have the authority to grant emergency docking, the decision to offer long-term sanctuary will need to come from higher up. I'll need to contact Earth Central Command." Zarleth's form shimmered again, this time with what Sarah interpreted as gratitude. "We understand, Commander. We ask only for safe harbor while you consult with your leaders. Our people have endured much, but hope has been in short supply." Sarah nodded, her decision made. "Transmitting docking coordinates now. Welcome to Harmony, Emissary Zarleth. We'll do everything in our power to help." As the alien vessel began its approach, Sarah turned to her crew. "This is not a drill, people. We're about to make first contact and potentially save an entire species. I need everyone at their best. Major Hawkins, coordinate with medical to prepare for potential alien triage. Lieutenant Rodriguez, work with engineering to adapt our docking systems for their ship. And someone get me a direct line to Admiral Yoshida at Earth Central. We're going to need all hands on deck for this one." The control center erupted into a flurry of activity. As her crew sprang into action, Sarah allowed herself a moment to marvel at the situation. Humanity had dreamed of first contact for centuries, but no one had imagined it quite like this. They were about to become the saviors of an alien race, the guardians of a civilization on the brink of extinction. As she watched the luminous ship grow larger in the viewport, Sarah felt a mix of excitement and trepidation. This was the moment that would define her career, perhaps even the course of human history. Whatever challenges lay ahead, she was determined to face them head-on. Little did Sarah know that among the Lumina refugees was a young alien girl named Lyra, whose destiny would soon become inextricably linked with her own. As the massive refugee ship docked with Harmony Station, the first chapter of an extraordinary adventure was about to unfold, one that would test the limits of human compassion, ingenuity, and courage in the face of an implacable cosmic threat. Danger strikes. The docking bay of Harmony Station buzzed with nervous energy as the massive doors slowly parted, revealing the interior of the Lumina refugee ship. Commander Sarah Chen stood at the forefront of the welcoming committee, flanked by medical personnel and security officers. The air was thick with anticipation and the acrid smell of disinfectant. As the first of the Lumina refugees began to emerge, Sarah's breath caught in her throat. The aliens were even more striking up close, their iridescent skin pulsing with colors that seemed to reflect their emotional states. Many moved with a grace that defied their clearly weakened condition, while others were supported or carried by their fellows. "Remember," Sarah murmured to her team, "they're refugees, not invaders. Show them every courtesy." Among the sea of shimmering forms, Sarah's attention was drawn to a small figure, unmistakably a child, who seemed to be moving against the flow of the crowd. The young Lumina's skin flickered with hues of fear and confusion, its 4 eyes darting wildly as it was jostled by the adults around it. Without thinking, Sarah stepped forward, gently parting the crowd. She knelt down to eye level with the alien child, offering what she hoped was a universal gesture of reassurance, an open palm and a smile. "Hello, little one," she said softly. "Are you lost?" The child's colors shifted rapidly, a kaleidoscope of emotion. Then, to Sarah's surprise, it spoke in halting English. My name is Lyra. I can't find my parents." Sarah's heart clenched. Even across the gulf of species, the fear in the child's voice was unmistakable. "It's okay, Lyra. We'll help you find them. Why don't you come with me for now?" As Sarah stood, holding out her hand to Lyra, a distant boom echoed through the station, followed by the wail of alarms. The commander's comm unit crackled to life with Major Hawkins' urgent voice. "Commander, we've got multiple explosions in the civilian sectors. Security feeds are going dark, and we're losing contact with entire decks." Sarah's mind raced, years of training kicking into high gear. Lockdown protocols, now. Get me a sitrep and scramble all security teams. The docking bay erupted into chaos as panicked refugees collided with station personnel rushing to their posts. Sarah scooped Lyra into her arms, the alien child's form surprisingly light. "Listen up." Sarah's voice cut through the din. "Medical team, continue processing refugees. Security, form a perimeter. No one in or out without my direct authorization." As her orders were carried out, Sarah turned to a nearby lieutenant. "I need you to take charge here. I'm heading to the command center." The young officer's eyes widened. "But sir, protocol states." "Protocol just went out the airlock, Lieutenant," Sarah interrupted. "We've got thousands of civilians, human and alien, in danger. I need to coordinate our response personally." With Lyra clinging to her, Sarah made her way through the crowded corridors of Harmony Station. Emergency lighting bathed everything in an eerie red glow, and the acrid smell of smoke began to permeate the air. "Do you what's happening?" Lyra's voice quivered, her colors a riot of fear and confusion. Sarah's voice was steady, belying the tension coiled in her gut. "I don't know yet, Lyra, but I promise, I'll keep you safe." As they neared the command center, a group of armed figures rounded the corner. Sarah's hand instinctively went to her sidearm before she recognized the insignia on their uniforms: Earth Central Intelligence. The lead agent, a hard-faced woman with close-cropped gray hair, stepped forward. "Commander Chen, I'm Agent Kovalev. We need to talk." Sarah's eyes narrowed. "Kind of busy here, Agent. In case you hadn't noticed, We're under attack. Kovalev's gaze flickered to Lyra, then back to Sarah. That's precisely what we need to discuss. The attack isn't random. They're after the Lumina, or more specifically, what the Lumina brought with them. What are you talking about? The agent's voice dropped to a whisper. The Lumina didn't just flee the Void Devourers, Commander. They took something. Something that could change the balance of power in the galaxy. And now, there are forces that will stop at nothing to get it. Sarah felt Lyra tremble in her arms, the child's colors shifting to deep, worried hues. She made a split-second decision. Fine, but this little one stays with me. And whatever you know, you better spill it fast. We've got lives on the line. As they hurried towards the command center, Sarah's mind whirled. What had the Lumina brought with them? And more importantly, how could she protect both her station and these desperate refugees from whoever was attacking them? The next few hours would test every ounce of Sarah's training, ingenuity, and courage. With an alien child in her arms and an unknown enemy closing in, she steeled herself for the fight of her life. The fate of Harmony Station, and perhaps much more, hung in the balance. Race against time. The command center of Harmony Station was a hive of frantic activity as Commander Sarah Chen burst through the doors, Lyra still clinging tightly to her. Holographic displays flickered with damage reports and security alerts, painting a grim picture of the station's status. Status report. Sarah barked, her eyes scanning the chaos around her. Major Hawkins stepped forward, his usually impeccable uniform now smeared with soot. It's bad, Commander. We've lost control of decks 12 through 18. The attackers are using some kind of tech that's overriding our systems. We can't even get a clear picture of how many we're dealing with. Sarah's mind raced, weighing options and discarding them just as quickly. She turned to Agent Kovalev, who had followed them into the command center. All right, Agent, you said they're after something the Lumina brought. What exactly are we dealing with here? Kovalev's eyes darted to the alien child in Sarah's arms before answering. It's called the Nexus Key. According to our intel, it's some kind of advanced AI core. The Lumina stole it from the Void Devourers during their escape. With it, they might be able to predict the Devourers' next moves. Maybe even find a way to stop them. A chill ran down Sarah's spine. If such a device truly existed, it could change the course of galactic history. But right now, it was putting everyone on Harmony Station in grave danger. Lyra stirred in Sarah's arms, her colors shifting to a deep, sorrowful blue. I know where it is, the young alien whispered. All eyes in the command center turned to the child. Sarah gently set Lyra down, kneeling to meet her gaze. Lyra, what do you mean? The alien child's 4 eyes blinked in rapid succession, a gesture Sarah was beginning to recognize as nervousness. My parents, they were its guardians. They hid it before we boarded the refugee ship. They said it was too dangerous for anyone to know where it was. Sarah's heart sank. If Lyra's parents were the key's guardians, their absence now took on a much darker meaning. She placed a comforting hand on the child's shoulder. Lyra, I promise we'll find your parents. But right now, we need to get to that key before the attackers do. Can you show us where it is? Lyra's colors swirled with a mix of fear and determination before settling into a steady, resolute green. She nodded. Sarah stood, her decision made. All right, people. New plan. Major Hawkins, you're in charge of station defense. Do whatever it takes to keep our people safe and buy us time. Agent Kovalev, you're with me and Lyra. We're going after the key. As they prepared to leave, the station rocked with another explosion. Alarms blared as the computer announced in its maddeningly calm voice. Warning. Hull breach detected on Deck 15. Emergency force fields engage. Sarah gritted her teeth. They were running out of time. The unlikely trio, a human commander, an Earth intelligence agent, and a young alien refugee, made their way through the bowels of Harmony Station. Emergency lighting cast long shadows as they navigated maintenance tunnels and service corridors, avoiding the main passageways where fighting still raged. Lyra led the way, her natural bioluminescence providing an eerie, shifting light that danced off the metal walls. Sarah marveled at the child's resilience. Despite the terror of their situation, Lyra moved with purpose, her small form gracefully navigating obstacles that the humans had to clamber over. "We're getting close," Lyra whispered, her colors pulsing with a mix of excitement and apprehension. "It's hidden in an old maintenance spot. My father reprogrammed it to guard the key." As they rounded a corner, they came face to face with a group of the attackers. Sarah's combat training kicked in instantly. She shoved Lyra behind her and drew her sidearm in one fluid motion, squeezing off 2 precise shots before diving for cover. The firefight was brief but intense. Sarah and Kovalev worked in perfect sync, years of training evident in their coordinated movements. When the last attacker fell, Sarah turned to check on Lyra, fearing the worst. To her amazement, the alien child was unharmed. A shimmering, translucent field surrounded her, some kind of personal shield that Sarah hadn't even realized she possessed. "Lyra, that's incredible," Sarah exclaimed, her admiration evident. The young luminous colors shifted to a bashful purple. It's just something all Lumina children can do." "For protection." Kovalev's voice cut through the moment. "We need to keep moving. They'll have reinforcements on the way." They pressed on, the signs of battle becoming more evident as they neared their goal. Scorch marks marred the walls, and the air was thick with the acrid smell of ozone and burning plastics. Finally, they reached a small, out-of-the-way storage room. Lyra darted inside, her colors a vibrant tapestry of relief and anxiety. In the corner stood what looked like a standard maintenance droid, its metal casing dented and scuffed with age. "This is it," Lyra said, placing her hand on the robot's chassis. A hidden panel slid open, revealing a pulsing, crystalline orb no larger than a human fist. Sarah stared in awe at the Nexus key. Even to her untrained eye, the object radiated power and complexity beyond human understanding. This tiny sphere could be the key to saving not just the Lumina, but potentially all sentient life from the Void Devourers. Her moment of wonder was shattered by the sound of heavy footsteps approaching. The attackers had found them. Sarah made a split-second decision. She scooped up the key and handed it to Lyra. "You need to protect this, Lyra. Your shield, can it hide the key's energy signature?" Lyra nodded, her colors a determined gold as she enveloped both herself and the key in her protective field. "Good," Sarah said, her voice filled with a confidence she didn't entirely feel. "Agent Kovalev and I will hold them off. You run. Find somewhere safe to hide until we can come for you. Can you do that?" Lyra's 4 eyes met Sarah's gaze, a look of understanding passing between them that transcended species. The alien child nodded once, then turned and disappeared into the shadows of the station. As Sarah and Kovalev took up defensive positions, the commander allowed herself a grim smile. The odds were stacked against them, but they had achieved their primary objective. Now they just had to survive long enough to make it count. The sound of approaching enemies grew louder. Sarah checked her weapon, exchanged a nod with Kovalev, and prepared for the fight of her life. The fate of Harmony Station, and perhaps the entire galaxy, now rested in the hands of a brave alien child, and the human commander determined to protect her at all costs. Unlikely alliance. The corridors of Harmony Station echoed with the sounds of battle. Commander Sarah Chen and Agent Kovalev fought with desperate intensity, their backs against the wall as wave after wave of attackers pressed forward. Their ammunition was running low, and fatigue was setting in. "Any bright ideas, Commander?" Kovalev shouted over the din of weapons fire, her voice trained. Sarah's mind raced. They couldn't hold this position much longer, but retreat meant potentially leading the enemy straight to Lyra and the Nexus key. Just as despair threatened to overtake her, a familiar voice crackled over her comm unit. "Commander Chen, do you read me? It was Major Hawkins, his voice distorted by static but unmistakable. "Hawkins, we're pinned down on Deck 16, Section C. What's your status?" "We've managed to regroup and push back on several fronts," Hawkins reported. "But we've got a new problem. The station's AI core is showing signs of instability. If it goes down, we lose life support, gravity control, everything." Sarah's blood ran cold. The situation had just gone from bad to catastrophic. "Understood, Major. We'll make our way to the AI core. Send any reinforcements you can spare." As if in response to their dire circumstances, a new sound cut through the chaos. A high-pitched, warbling cry that seemed to resonate through the very structure of the station. The attackers faltered, confused by the unexpected noise. Seizing the moment, Sarah and Kovalev broke from their cover, sprinting down a side passage. As they ran, the strange cry grew louder, and they rounded a corner to find an astonishing sight. A group of Lumina refugees stood in a defensive formation, their bodies glowing with intense light. At the center of the group was Lyra, her small form radiating a power that belied her size. The Nexus key hovered above her, pulsing in sync with the alien's bioluminescence. "Commander," Lyra called out, her colors a mix of relief and determination. "We came to help." Sarah's surprise quickly gave way to tactical thinking. "Lyra, what exactly are you doing?" One of the adult Lumina stepped forward, his form shimmering with authoritative gold tones. "I am Zarleth, the emissary you spoke with earlier. Young Lyra found us and explained the situation. We may not be warriors, Commander, but we are not helpless. The Nexus key amplifies our natural abilities. We can use it to disrupt the attacker's technology and clear a path to your AI core." For a moment, Sarah was speechless. The sight of these peaceful refugees willingly putting themselves in danger to help defend the station was both humbling and inspiring. She nodded, a plan already forming in her mind. "All right, here's what we're going to do. Zarleth, can your people maintain the disruption field while we move?" The emissary's colors shifted to a determined blue. "We can, Commander. It will not stop physical attacks, but it should render their advanced weaponry useless." "Good enough," Sarah said. She turned to Kovalev. "Agent, I need you to escort Lyra and the key. Keep them protected at all costs." Kovalev nodded, her usual stoic expression softening slightly as she looked at the brave alien child. Sarah addressed the assembled group. "Listen up. We're making a push for the AI core. Lumina in the center, maintaining the disruption field. Humans on the perimeter for physical defense. Our goal is to reach the core and stabilize it before we lose control of the station. Any questions?" The silence that followed was answer enough. Human and Lumina alike stood ready, united in purpose. As they began their advance, Sarah marveled at the sight. Humans in makeshift armor fought side by side with glowing alien refugees. The luminous disruption field wreaked havoc on the attackers' systems, turning the tide of battle in their favor. They fought their way through the station, deck by deck. Sarah's tactical acumen, combined with the Lumina's unique abilities, proved a formidable combination. Crew members and civilians joined their ranks as they progressed, swelling their numbers. Finally, they reached the AI core, a massive chamber dominated by pulsing data columns and holographic interfaces. The room was in chaos, with technicians scrambling to maintain the failing systems. Sarah quickly assessed the situation. "Lyra, Zarleth, we need to interface the Nexus key with our eye. Can you do it?" Lyra's colors swirled with concentration. I think so. But it's dangerous. The key wasn't designed for this kind of integration." "We don't have a choice," Sarah said, her voice gentle but firm. "It's our only shot at saving the station and everyone on it." As Lyra and Zarleth worked to connect the Nexus key to Harmony's systems, Sarah organized the defense of the AI core. Humans and Lumina worked in perfect synchronization, repelling wave after wave of increasingly desperate attacks. Suddenly, the chamber was filled with a blinding light. The Nexus key pulsed with energy, tendrils of data streaming between it, and the station's AI core. Harmony's systems flickered, went dark, and then roared back to life with renewed vigor. "Commander," Major Hawkins' voice came through clear on the comm. "Whatever you did, it's working. We're regaining control of all systems. The attackers are in full retreat." A cheer went up from the defenders, human and Lumina alike. Sarah allowed herself a moment of relief before focusing on the next steps. There would be wounded to tend to, damage to repair, and difficult questions to answer. But as she looked around the room, at the humans and aliens standing side by side, at Lyra's tired but triumphant expression, at the Nexus key now seamlessly integrated with Harmony systems, Sarah felt a surge of hope. They had faced an impossible situation and emerged victorious, not through superior firepower or advanced technology, but through cooperation, ingenuity, and the unbreakable spirit of two species united against a common threat. As the immediate danger passed and the work of recovery began, Sarah knew that this was only the beginning. The threat of the Void Devourers still loomed, and the presence of the Nexus key on Harmony Station would undoubtedly draw more attention, both wanted and unwanted. But looking at the unlikely family they had forged in the heat of battle, Sarah Chen knew they would face whatever came next together, human and Lumina, standing as one against the darkness of space, triumph of unity. In the days following the attack, Harmony Station hummed with a new energy. The debris of battle was slowly cleared away, replaced by the sounds of reconstruction, and the chatter of humans and Lumina working side by side. Commander Sarah Chen stood at her familiar spot by the panoramic viewport, but the view before her was unlike anything she had seen in her years of service. Lumina ships, their organic crystalline hulls gleaming in the starlight, now patrolled alongside human vessels. On the station itself, iridescent Lumina moved freely among the human population, their shifting colors adding a vibrant new dimension to life aboard Harmony. Quite a sight, isn't it? The voice belonged to Zarleth, who approached with Lyra at his side. Sarah smiled, nodding in agreement. "I never imagined I'd see anything like this in my lifetime. We've made history here, Zarleth." The Lumina emissary's colors rippled with a mix of pride and contemplation. "Indeed we have, Commander. But I fear our challenges are far from over." As if on cue, Sarah's comm unit chirped. "Commander Chen, your presence is requested in Conference Room Alpha. Priority message from Earth Central Command." Sarah sighed, knowing that the relative peace of the past few days was about to be shattered. She knelt down to Lyra's level, the young alien's colors a swirl of curiosity and concern. "Duty calls, little one, but I'll see you later for our language exchange, okay?" Lyra's colors brightened to a happy yellow. "Okay, Sarah. I'll teach you more Lumina color speak." With a final nod to Zarleth, Sarah made her way to the conference room. Inside, she found a gathering of senior staff and a holographic projection of Admiral Yoshida, her expression grave. "Commander Chen," the Admiral began without preamble. "First, let me commend you and your crew for your exemplary handling of the crisis. Your actions have not only saved Harmony Station, but potentially changed the course of human history." Sarah stood a little straighter, pride swelling in her chest. "Thank you, Admiral. But the credit belongs to everyone aboard Harmony, human and Lumina alike." The Admiral nodded, a hint of a smile crossing her face, before her expression turned serious once more. "Which brings us to the matter at hand. The presence of the Lumina refugees and the Nexus key on Harmony Station presents both unprecedented opportunities and grave dangers." The holographic display shifted, showing tactical readouts and intelligence reports. The attack on Harmony wasn't an isolated incident. Similar strikes have been reported at outposts across the sector. "We believe these are advanced scouts for the Void Devourers." A chill ran down Sarah's spine. The threat they had faced was only the beginning. Admiral Yoshida continued. "In light of these developments, Earth Central Command has made a decision. Harmony Station is to be recommissioned as the headquarters for a new joint human Lumina defense force. Commander Chen, You're being promoted to the rank of captain and given command of this initiative. Sarah's mind reeled at the implications. Admiral, I'm honored, but are we ready for this? The Lumina have already been through so much. The Admiral's expression softened slightly. It's precisely because of what the Lumina have endured that we need this alliance, Captain. They have knowledge of the enemy, and with the Nexus key integrated into Harmony's systems, we have a fighting chance against the Void Devourers. As the briefing concluded and plans were set in motion, Sarah found herself back at the viewport, lost in thought. The enormity of the task ahead was daunting, but as she looked out at the blended fleet of human and Lumina ships, she felt a surge of determination. A small hand slipped into hers, and she looked down to see Lyra, the young alien's colors a comforting blue. "Are you worried, Sarah?" Lyra asked, her mastery of English improving daily. Sarah squeezed the child's hand gently. "A little. We have a big job ahead of us." Lyra's colors shifted to a resolute green. "But we'll do it together, right? Humans and Lumina." "That's right, Lyra. Together." As if in response to their conversation, the Nexus key, now fully integrated with Harmony systems, pulsed with a soft light. Holographic displays sprang to life around them, showing star charts, tactical readouts, and streams of data that melded human and Lumina knowledge. Sarah watched in awe as human crew members and Lumina refugees gathered around the displays, their voices mixing in a chorus of different languages and color speaks as they began to work together to decipher the information. In that moment, Sarah Chen understood the true significance of what they had achieved. It wasn't just about surviving an attack, or even about forming an alliance. They had proven that in the face of cosmic threats, the differences between species could become strengths rather than divisions. As she looked out at the stars, with Lyra by her side and the combined strength of two civilizations at her back, Sarah felt ready to face whatever challenges the universe might throw their way. The Void Devourers were coming, but on Harmony Station, a new force was rising to meet them, a testament to the indomitable spirit of cooperation, the boundless potential of unity, and the unbreakable bonds forged in the heat of adversity, human and Lumina, standing together against the darkness. This was how they would face the future. This was how they would win.